policy is I resent his talents, I resent him being superior to me, and therefore I'm going to knock him down.
What makes him superior to you? What is the qualities that would make him?
Because I at times buy into my culture that says guys who are really handsome. Would you please listen to my answer before you interrupt me again?
Well, the thing is...
Well, why talk with you if you're going to consistently interrupt?
Well,
are we having a rational discussion or is this an emotion?
Well, the reason why I want to get to that...
Claims to be a moral anti-realist. As always, write down some notes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're an atheist, you say there is no God.
That's like the definitional statement of being an atheist.
You say there is no God.
Yeah.
You say that you know the universe so well that you know God doesn't exist. You're an atheist.
I don't have...
No God.
No,
that's an incredible claim.
I guess you could say it's more of agnostic. I have no proof that there is a God that exists.
You can't be agnostic about God. You know why? Because you got to make ethical decisions every day, and your ethics tattle what you believe about reality. Because you have to determine whether a person is valuable or not.
God.
Yeah, but when you make a decision that's ethical,
so if you have... No, I gotta stop you, because we're gonna go through this point by point, if you're gonna make that kind of style of argument. If someone can make an ethical decision about God, why do they need God to form an ethical decision?
If you are convinced that something is ethical versus unethical, you are into objective morality, objective ethics. The only way... Now, stop interrupting me. I listen to you, now you listen to me. All right. So, if there are objective ethics, it means there has to be a mind to define that.
That's ethics. Once again, that's like just going... Again, I'm a moral anti-realist. I don't believe there is like an objective ethical system.
Okay, fine. Live it out.
I don't think you can create one. I don't think I can create one.
No, you can't live out. You're an intellectual hypocrite. Because you can't live out moral relativism. You can't live as if Cliff respecting this guy...
I'm being a moral anti-realist.
Of course you are. Come
Explain how I'm
on.
moral.
You know very well that if I love this guy today and hate him tomorrow...
Yes, that's because my own moral axiomatic...
That's right. You are so intellectually inconsistent that you insist that for me to murder him is wrong versus me to respect him is right. But if your morality is relative and you're going to be intellectually consistent...
Again, I'm not a moral relativist.
Yes, you are.
Explain how I'm a moral relativist.
Because you're an atheist. You have to be a moral relativist. Because an atheist is someone who says there's no mind prior to the human mind who defines right and wrong.
Am I a coffee lover too because I'm an atheist? Is everything because I'm an atheist?
Life is real, and you got to make ethical decisions. So get real and acknowledge you choose to pay your taxes or not pay your taxes. Is it not possible that you're viewing yourself as valuable is because of a high caffeine rush from your coffee this morning?
That's an interesting question to pose. So
just answer it.
I guess what I would say is, how am I sure that I am... So let me re-clarify. How am I sure that I have value and it's not just because I drank caffeine this morning?
Right.
My simple answer would be is that I also feel value when I don't drink caffeine. If you want like the basic answer to like
you
what you directly ask me. If you want, once again, the actual like free supposition for the actual argument, my belief that human life is innately valuable is once again a moral axiom. It does have no like realist definition. Again, I'm a moral anti-realist.
So then if tomorrow you feel you're a piece of trash, that's true for you?
You're talking in that instance, no. Me feeling like, okay. You have beliefs that are broad and grounded. Would you say you have any beliefs you hold, that you consistently hold, that aren't explicitly written in the Bible?
Many.
Okay. Why do you have those beliefs?
Because God has given me a rational mind, and by exercising my rational mind, I can follow evidence in science, math, psychology, literature, history. I don't believe George Washington was the first president of the United States because the Bible says so. The Bible doesn't mention George Washington. I study history, the trustworthiness of eyewitness testimony, and that's why I'm convinced George Washington was the first president of the United States. I am convinced that Muhammad was a real person. And if anybody wants to tell me Muhammad is a myth, I'm going to tell them they're out to lunch. Why? Because the overwhelming historical evidence is Muhammad was a real person. The same thing with Jesus Christ. He was a real historical person. That's why I believe that stuff, because I got a mind.
I am an atheist. I do believe Jesus was a historical figure. You don't gotta worry.
Why do you trust your mind? In light of the fact that your reason comes from non-reason if you're an atheist, why do you trust your mind?
In the case of why do I trust my mind, I would just cite Descartes and just say I am because I think I am because I can say I am.
Well, that's one blind leap. How do you know that your thinking ties you into reality? Einstein said, the biggest miracle is that my brain can connect with reality. That is a miracle. If you notice, many animals' minds don't tie them into reality in many situations. Some situations, yes, but other situations, no. The deer that I hit with my car accidentally made a poor decision. He ran in front of my car. Not good. I don't think anybody here would run in front of cars. So why do you trust your mind if your mind is simply a highly developed monkey's brain? Do you trust the thoughts of a monkey?
Is that
You know the
argument me or the stories of Molly?
For you.
Okay. Another fun question to talk about. In this case, I would once again just cite that as for my existence as a human being,
Yeah.
what I know is reality is what this processes. That is a fact for both you and me. What
Yeah.
you know is reality is what this processes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, in that instance, whatever mess of gray matter up here is processing
Yeah.
is my reality in terms of what I perceive.
Right.
You can of course go further beyond that, which is where you get into like actual like society as a whole. But in the case of like, why do I think what I believe is correct?
Yeah.
Is because it is the reality present to me, and my positions are mutable based upon evidence that could change said positions.
But if you believe that your mind comes from the irrational, if you believe that your reason comes from
by the irrational.
Yeah, chaos. If there is no God, you believe that order came about by chance out of chaos. And part of that means you believe that the rational mind that you so treasure because you're very articulate, you obviously think, but you believe that this mind that you treasure so highly is a cosmic accident. There is a breakdown there.
Do you believe it's impossible for anything complex to be like created by accident? Is that what you're trying to argue?
I'm saying the rational does not come from the non-rational. Order does not come from chaos. If you're an athlete, you know very well that your success in athletics is not because you just happen to be accidentally lucky and put the ball in the goal.
Unless you're Michael Phelps. That guy was a genetic freak. Or is a genetic freak. He's still alive.
Yeah, he also worked very, very hard to
He
become the
also
best
has,
swimmer in the
like,
world.
For those who don't know about Michael Phelps, the dude is literally a genetic freak.
Wait, is
if
Michael Phelps coach here?
He coaches here. At Texas.
He coaches here at UT. Okay, so Michael Phelps coaches here at UT. So, I can promise you, Michael Phelps didn't go around saying to a homeless person, hey, would you please coach me in swimming? I want to make it to the Olympics. No, he got one of the finest coaches, and you guys still have him here at UT. And I can promise you the coach doesn't say, oh, do whatever you want to do, and maybe we'll make the Olympics. No, they drill these guys hard. And you don't become a postdoc student in mathematics because you sort of just flitted and flirted away going to party after party. You got to grill your brain, discipline it. So don't give me this gibberish that order and design come about by chance. Don't give me this gibberish that the rational mind is the result of the irrational. That's stupid. For me,